Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into the United Kingdom. Now, it's a place most of us, think we have a handle on. Royal family, London landmarks, maybe some rainy weather, perhaps. But digging into our source materials, curious facts about the United Kingdom. Honestly, there's so much more going on, some really surprising stuff in there.
Absolutely. And that's really our aim today, isn't it? To get past those surface level images. We want to pull out those facts, those little nuggets that maybe challenge what you thought you knew about the UK, help you get properly informed, but, quickly.
Exactly. Using this curious facts collection as our map, essentially. So let's dive in. Okay, first up, and this is foundational, but I think sometimes overlooked, the UK isn't, it's not just one country. It's actually 4 distinct nations: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, each with its own, culture, flag, even language variations.
Right. And understanding that is absolutely key. It's fundamental because this mix of identities means things like, say, laws or even just cultural habits. They can be really different across those internal borders. It's not just one single entity.
Yeah, that diversity is huge. Okay, so another one that kind of made me pause was about swans, royal swans. Apparently there's this old decree way back from the 12th century. It says all unmarked mute swans swimming around in open water in England and Wales technically belong to the king or queen. Wild, right?
It is wild, isn't it? And it sounds quirky, almost trivial maybe, but it really points to how these ancient royal traditions, they just endure. They still have this symbolic weight, even if, no one's actually rounding up swans day to day. It's fascinating.
It really is. Okay, shifting gears from ancient royalty to something incredibly fast. Did you know about the world's shortest commercial flight? It's in Scotland, up in the Orkney Islands.
Oh, the Westray to Papa Westray flight.
That's the one. It lasts something like 90 seconds. 90 seconds, you'd barely have time to get your seatbelt on.
Mm-hmm. And it's a perfect example of how, unique geography forces unique solutions. It looks extreme from the outside, maybe, but for those communities, it's just a practical, ingenious way to connect islands.
Makes sense. Okay, here's one I think lots of us get wrong, myself included, for years. Big Ben. We all point at the tower and say, there's Big Ben. But that's actually not right.
Right. Big Ben is the bell. The massive bell inside the tower.
Exactly. The tower itself. That's the Elizabeth Tower.
It's a classic case of, I suppose, the popular name overshadowing the official one. But it kind of tells you something, doesn't it? That the sound, the chime marking time, became more iconic in people's minds than the structure holding it.
Yeah, that's a great point. Okay, how about afternoon tea? Such a quintessential British thing. Well, it turns out it wasn't some grand tradition planned out. It started in the 1840s with Anna, the Duchess of Bedford.
Because she got hungry.
Pretty much. She apparently had this sinking feeling in the late afternoon waiting for dinner. So she started having tea and little snacks privately, then invited friends. And it just caught on, became fashionable.
I love that. It shows how something so sort of culturally significant can start from a really simple, relatable human thing, just being peckish. It wasn't designed, it just grew organically.
Yeah. Okay, for something a bit funny now, get this. There's a village in Scotland called Dull, D-U-L-L, and it's officially twinned with Boring, Oregon in the U.S.
Oh, I've heard of this. Dull and boring.
Yes, and it gets better. They've apparently also linked up with a place called Bland in Australia. Dull, boring, and bland.
That's brilliant. It just highlights that sort of charming, slightly whimsical side of international relations, doesn't it? Finding connections and a bit of humor in place names across the globe. It's great.
It really is. Okay, finally, one last fact, and this one I think speaks volumes. Fish and chips, the classic British takeaway. During both world wars, it was one of the very few foods that wasn't rationed.
That's right. Churchill himself apparently saw it as vital for morale.
Exactly. Keeping spirits up.
And that really underscores the deep cultural significance of food, especially in times of crisis. It wasn't just calories. Fish and chips represented normality, maybe a small comfort, a bit of resilience. It was psychologically important for the nation.
Absolutely. So you see, when you pull together all these little facts, these curious details, you get a picture of the UK that's way more complex, maybe quirkier, and definitely more interesting than just the headline stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's full of these hidden histories and surprising little traditions.
Definitely richer than you might first think.
And perhaps that leaves us with a thought for you listening. How often do we find the most revealing, the most surprising things about a place or a culture, not in the big, obvious landmarks, but actually tucked away in these everyday details? the seemingly ordinary things. It might just make you want to, look a little closer at the world around you, wherever that might be.